Good morning and a happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great start to your day. How are you? I'm your host, Monica Adams, the show, The Real Monica Adams Show. And as you are just getting ready to sign on, feel free to say hello to your community. They call themselves Monica's Maniacs, and I love that authenticity of being here every single morning and being real and helping out your neighbors, your family, your friends, meeting new friends. I can't wait to see all the people that stay friends after meeting on this show. It just really warms my heart. Hi, Sean. Hi, Julie. Hi, Kathleen. As you're popping on this morning, we will shout out to you as much as we possibly can as you have the opportunity to watch on multiple platforms: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. We are on X. We're on Rumble. Again, the platforms continue to grow. If there's a platform that we're not on that you would like for us to be on, just let us know that. We have the coolest family that we're going to feature today. So we've been mentioning that we're going to Fredericksburg, Texas. By the way, have you ever heard of Fredericksburg? I had not, but now that I have been looking into it over the last several months, it looks like the cutest, the most quaint area, and really, truly small business helping small business, which is what I absolutely love. So we're going to sit down and talk with the Wolcotts. They own Wine Barrel Cabins. And here's the thing you do not want to miss. If you have to go away, then I would tell you to tell a family member or a friend or a coworker to watch, because coming up at the end of the interview, that's right, the biggest giveaway that we've ever done on this show is coming up for you right after we do the interview. So welcome back. We're going to do a little news you can use. We also give you some national news. It sometimes switches between what's going on from financial aspect to what's going on in our world, from Fox to New York Times to CNN. We want to make sure that we take care of everybody. We're not showing favoritism to one side or the other. Got to keep it neutral here, folks, right? You can drop whatever comments you want in, and we can talk about it as a community. In sports news, we will also flip it around to Fox Sports. So news and financial aspect, that's what you'll see up here. I'm going to give you what's happening from a local and from a regional standpoint, and then also things that might be going on nationally that we might want to talk about. So if you are in our immediate area, and you're wondering weather-wise how to head out the door and what can you expect as you get the kids on Easter Sunday. Well, here's what it looks like for you. Today, we are looking for maybe a morning storm. So it is a little cloudy out there. 77. This is in St. Louis, Missouri, by the way. But look at that. Now, our friends over at KMOV have turned Friday, Saturday, and Sunday into watch days. That's when they have that red, right? 84, extremely warm, like summer-like on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, back into the 60s. But those are days that you could have some heavy rain as well as a spot storm. So on Easter, unfortunately, we are talking about rain in our immediate area. If you're outside of our area, let us know where you're watching from and let us know what the temperature's like there. I'd like to know if anybody's sitting on a beach, because a lot of people take us along with them when they're on vacation. So Monday, 66, 74 on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, for right now at least, there's a slight chance of rain that could be spoiling things for you if you have midweek plans. Okay, welcome back. 7:04, literally just getting going this morning. And as I mentioned, you're going to want to have either you or someone you know tuned in to the show at the very end after we speak with the family that's standing by, the Wolcotts. They are the owners of Wine Barrel Cabins, and we have collaborated. If you looked at my social media pages, you may have seen this. We're going to give a 2-night stay in a wine barrel cabin. I know you're sitting there thinking, what? Wait a minute. Like, it looks kind of like a wine barrel. No, it is a full-on wine barrel. Wait for it. And we're going to hear the story behind the family. I have fallen in love with them for sure. Let's get into some news. And this you would hear or watch on a scroll from a national standpoint. A United Airlines flight had made an emergency landing. And if you look closely, I tried to capture a picture where you could see the engine fire. That all happened because of an apparent animal strike. It was United 2325. An airplane engine burst into flame after reportedly striking an animal on departure from Denver International Airport. And that, of course, prompted pilots to make an emergency landing, according to the FAA and air traffic control recordings. The United Airlines flight was bound for Canada. 153 passengers, 6 crew members on board. It did land safely, fortunately, without any reports of any injuries. But that can be so scary. And it makes me think of, do you remember Fabio? I don't know if you remember this story. It is a long, long time ago. Fabio was in a small craft, and there was like a huge bird that the plane hit, and then he ended up, I mean, there was tons of pictures. If you look it up, there's tons of pictures of him all bloodied. But that can happen at any point. You normally hope that it just hits and goes on, but yes, it can strike a fire like that. So a little scary, again, from Denver and heading to Canada. Okay, your kids might be talking about this right now, wanting to go see Minecraft. Well, there's a local movie theater, and I'm wondering if this is going to catch on for other theaters all across the US. They're changing their policy on the Minecraft movie. I was watching this video. I mean, it is like all mayhem. You can see what it says right there. We snuck in a real chicken, and then people are literally on each other's shoulders playing like chicken. You know, in a pool, when you get on each other's shoulders and you're playing chicken in the pool. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about, that reference. But they're throwing things like crazy. It's just absolutely nuts. So it made the theater rethink their policy as kids are thinking they're coming to go watch that movie. So a heads up, this is for RMC Theater, Waterloo, Illinois. They're going to have a rated R age restriction. Customers throwing items, jumping, foghorns, it is not going to be allowed. Under 17, if they're wanting to come, and your kids are talking about it right now, they will have to be accompanied by an adult. So why is the chicken thing happening, right? The moment they want for their video is when Jack Black says chicken jockey in the movie. And then that's when they go nuts. Again, 17 to 20 years old can only buy tickets for themselves and not other guests under 17. So these crowds making videos of themselves, it's because it went TikTok viral, obviously, throwing things like ice and candy and popcorn and soda, even going as far as bringing in a live chicken just to make the video go viral. And isn't that what we keep talking about? Everybody these days, it's literally all they want. They want the likes, they want the follows, they want the clicks, they want to go viral. They're trying whatever they can to go viral on Instagram and on TikTok. Have you seen this? Have you been seeing something like this? We're going to stay with the idea of going to the theaters for a better movie. I'm so excited about this. John O'Leary, who was on our show a year ago. Hopefully you know about John. Now, he's from our area, and we're so proud of him. The book, On Fire, we interviewed him about the book and about his life. And we've been waiting to find out when is the movie coming out. The name of the movie is going to be Soul on Fire. And he made the announcement yesterday in several social media posts. The film will be out October 10th. I've already put it in my calendar. I cannot wait to see this. It's, of course, based on his life, that 2016 best-selling novel On Fire. He shared his recovery story of a near-death accident when he was 9 years old. The film, though, by the way, was shot and it's put us on the map at several locations in John's life, like the Arch, Bush Stadium, St. Louis University, the Shrine of St. Joseph Catholic Church, Mercy Hospital, and of course, his connection with the late, great Jack Buck. So it's coming out October 10th. I've already reached out to John and his team, and John said, let's make it happen. So he wants to come back on to talk to each and every one of you and to tell you what's been going on since we had him on a year ago, and to talk, of course, all about that movie coming up, which I can't wait. I want to just get a ton of people. Let's get our Monica's Maniacs and go out to the theaters and pack the theaters that day. So I caught this yesterday, and I want to know what you think about it. So as you are signing on, weigh in on this. I love this woman, and truly I've said that if I get an interview with her, then that's it. Then I can end my career, because there are so many people that I have wanted to interview in my life, and she's one of them. I've been blessed to interview some of my absolute favorites, and I put Reba McEntire and Dolly Parton in the same sentence as true class. Well, now there's a petition out there that you can sign to rename Nashville's airport after country icon Dolly Parton. And it's already surpassed 50,000 signatures. What do you think about that? Do you think that the airport should be renamed after the sweetest woman that I think just could walk the face of this earth? Dolly Parton has done so much for the world, and she continues to give back and give back. I do agree, and I love to go to Nashville. So I want to sign that. Not only that petition, but I want to sign this one as well. Do you remember Mark Longo and his wife coming on our show? This is before the unfortunate situation that happened that really put Mark all over national news. There is now a law that's been inspired by Peanut, who was his squirrel, that was euthanized. And we're talking about having a 72-hour period that's going to be required. Now, they put the animal down because they said that they were fearing rabies and that they said it had bit somebody. But it wasn't just Peanut, it was Fred as well. He has, and I should say he and his wife, they have so many different animals that they've rescued from slaughterhouses, etc. Mark Longo, they have a petition to continue to keep things going and to keep the memory alive and to take care of other animals that would be in that circumstances, these wild animals that they're saying that they shouldn't have in their homes, right? That's why Peanut unfortunately was put down. So yeah, look those up, or maybe, Jenny can drop some things in for you about these petitions that are out there. I love it. In sports news, how about those Cardinals? They're coming out victorious against Houston. The final score yesterday was 4-1, and now it's the Cards and the Mets tonight. First pitch 6:10, Cards and the Mets tomorrow as well. Same time, that will be at 6:10 as well. Okay, coming up, we've got a really cool giveaway. As I mentioned, this is going to be with Wine Barrel Cabins coming up very soon, Fredericksburg, Texas. But you're going to first hear about the story of how did this even come about. National Day of Calendar we have for you as well. What's on tap today? Get to know your customers day. That's right. Every sponsor that comes on this show, we're all about making sure that you have positivity, same mindset that we do, wanting to give back to the world. National Crawfish Day, National High Five Day. All right. National Cheese Ball Day. I like to give high fives to my dogs, right? They're so cute. National Haiku Poetry Day, and the National Ellis Island Family History Day. And seems only fitting since we are going to feature a really awesome family. Before we do that, I know we've been talking about Brian McKenna Day. For those of you that are in our area, hopefully you knew him. He was one of the most incredible people, the kindest soul, giving to so many charities, and just really wanting to light up St. Louis, right? He's from South City. So your vibe attracts your tribe is what he always said. McKenna Day is coming up on May 31st, 2 to 7 p.m. If you are in our area, or I would tell you to come into St. Louis so you can really see us shine. Join us that day in celebration of an incredible life that was taken too soon, tragically, in a car accident. So Macklin, from Devonshire to Nottingham, that's where they will have a parade and food and drinks and music. If you have questions or you want to do a donation, please reach out to Brian McKenna Day at gmail.com. So yesterday I was texting back and forth with Pueblo Solis. He loved that place. In fact, he would always say, meet me at Pueblo. So a shirt has been made, and then your vibe attracts your tribe on the front. And these are being sold. And again, proceeds will be given to all these wonderful charities that Brian loved. There are other shirts that I know a South City sporting goods store, they made 200 of them. They sold out like that. I can't wait to see how many people come out. I'm going to be so proud of our city that come out on May 31st. You know darn well we will be there to celebrate Brian. But not only that, I have been asked if I would sit down and interview Babs, his absolute best friend. And I understand that she said she would like to do one last interview. And of course, you know that I am the one that wants to do that for her. She said that she would be thrilled to be on our show. And if that's the last one that she ever does, wow, that would mean the world to me. But I'd actually like her to continue. So we'll be talking about some things so we can keep the vibe alive. All right, folks, that's how we do it. 7:14 from 7 to 7:15. We wrap it up in all the news that I feel you want to talk about. Nothing negative, all positive. And speaking of which, we're going to give you all that positivity. We have a feature on an amazing family out of Fredericksburg, Texas. So good morning to all of you saying you love Dolly. Looking forward to John O'Leary's movie. He is an inspiration. Yep, Jenny said Dolly's her favorite. Looking forward to the O'Leary movie. He's an inspiration. Dolly for president. I like that one. John O'Leary, live inspired. Can't wait. Yeah, what a mess in the theaters. I know, right? Would love to see an interview with Babs. Well, it's happening. All these things are happening for you. All right, everybody, keep those comments coming in. Can't wait for you to have the opportunity to possibly win a 2-night stay at Wine Barrel Cabins in Fredericksburg, Texas. Don't go anywhere.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Carroll House is now the contemporary furniture design center.
We now have the largest selection of the latest ultra-modern furniture.
Sleek European designs, unique metals, bold lacquers, plush fabrics, and retro styles.
Modern furnishings with exclusive collections only at Carroll House.
Plus free financing, free delivery and setup, and free in-home design.
Visit the St. Louis Center for Contemporary Design inside our 3.5-acre showrooms at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
Well, welcome back. We told you we have a really exciting feature for you today. Now, you've been hearing about it for probably the last month and a half or 2 months. How many times have you heard me say wine barrel cabins and an area in Texas that maybe you've never heard of? Fredericksburg, Texas. I certainly hadn't until one of our viewers, and I want to thank Susie, by the way, for reaching out to me on Instagram and saying, Monica, you do these Wet Your Whistle Wednesday segments. How about doing Wet Your Whistle in a wine barrel? I'm like, well, yeah, that'd be cool if it existed. And she's like, but it does. And I was like, come on. Are you serious? Sure enough. And we're going to talk to the family that put this together. How super cool is that? Can you imagine going to Texas, or maybe you're in Texas and you've never even heard of this place? Now you and your family, or maybe your friends, or maybe you do a little getaway with your loved ones. We're going to talk to the family who had the passion and the idea to put this together. There's 5 of them, and today we're going to talk to 3 of them. So first of all, welcome to the Wolcotts. First of all, we've got Lena. It's kind of like the Brady Bunch. We've got Lena up top, and then we've got Josh and Kerri down below. How are you over there?
We're great. Thank you.
So we're amazing.
Lena, I got to say, so Lena and I, what has it been? A couple months now we've been talking, I think?
I believe so, since February, I believe.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right too? Yeah.
I think so. So Lena, by the way, is a college student. And where are you today? Where are you talking to us?
I am coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm studying social media and marketing at Grand Canyon University.
I love it. And she's got some guitars by her. I may end up asking you to play for me. And then down below in my Brady Bunch box is Josh and Kerri Wolcott. And you're in Texas.
Yes, we're in Fredericksburg, Texas, which is the hill country of Texas, and also kind of the wine country of Texas. Yeah.
Who knew?
You know what? Who knew, right? So that's the thing. My husband goes, wait a minute. They're making wine in Texas, or do they source it out, or where's it come from? How are they making wine in the desert? He has so many questions for you. So answer that, because there's a lot of wineries there.
Yeah, we have over 100 now. Honestly, I've kind of lost count. I'm sure the Tourism Bureau has the exact number, but in our area, there are within, call it a 20 to 30 minute drive of Fredericksburg, which is kind of the town in the center of the wine country here. There's 70, 80 wineries, and many of them are starting to win awards, and we're starting to get recognized in the wine industry. It's kind of exciting.
It is exciting, because here's the deal. So many people think, oh, I'm going to go to Napa Valley, or maybe they go to Sonoma. Mm-hmm. And then I love the fact that all of these other wineries started getting put on the map, from Washington to Oregon. Mm-hmm. You can go on and on and on. And now I want you to think of Texas. Boy, I tell you what, Josh, I didn't know there was over 100. I thought maybe 40 or 50. But I started looking, going, holy cow. And we're going to feature a lot, by the way, when we are in Fredericksburg. So we're travel tripping. We're taking the show on the road, and we're going to Fredericksburg, Texas. And we are going to feature the Wolcotts. We're going to go to these cabins. So before we show all of this, let's go back. Let's talk about your family, first of all. So there are 5 of you. You want to go through and say who everybody is?
Sure, I'll do that. So we have 3 kiddos. Lena is our oldest, who you all have met now. And then we have our son, Grant, and he is 20. And then we have our bonus child at the very end, Isaiah, and he's 13.
Our caboose.
Our caboose. And every single one of you has played a part in bringing the wine barrel cabins to fruition. But I got to go back. So what's the story behind the idea, where it even came from? Who wants to take that one?
Yeah, I can start.
That would be my dad.
Yeah, if you want to add
sure.
in. So when we moved to Fredericksburg, we knew that we wanted to be involved in the hospitality industry. We had done a little bit of that previously when we lived in Hawaii, which I'm sure we'll circle back to.
Yes.
And so when we moved here, we are wine aficionados. We love wine, and we don't want to call ourselves wine snobs, but if I'm honest, we are a little bit. And so anyhow, we were trying to think about, we have a property, we want to build some short-term rentals as a business, and so how could we tie that with wine? Because that's why a lot of people come here. We get about 2 million visitors to this tiny town every year. Not all of them for wine tasting, obviously, but we have lots of festivals. We have an incredible Pacific War, World War II museum.
Yes.
We have all kinds of different reasons, shopping, restaurants, etc. But we really love wine, so we were trying to tie to that. And so anyhow, we were actually on vacation in Alaska after a very busy season. And I really think that time away kind of helped have some margin in the mind to unwind and think. And I just had this word pop into my head, wine barrels. And I was like, huh. So then I started researching. I wonder if anyone's ever built like a wine barrel to live in. And there really aren't. There's like some small versions. There's the wine barrel saunas that are now being built that I think you can even buy them through Costco.
Yeah.
But on a scale of this size, these are about 400 square feet.
Oh, I was
And
going to ask you how big they are.
yeah, and so and the very tallest part of the inside is almost 11 feet. So that gives you a little bit of idea of the scope. Looking at that front deck there, where you walk into the front door, that door is a standard 6'8", 7-foot frame. So that shows you how tall they are. There's no blueprints for that. So
Right.
that became a challenge and a puzzle that my mind kind of works that way. And so I set about trying to design one, and I found some stuff online. People, this isn't the first time people have toyed with the idea of a round shape, but they were not easy. And so a dear friend of ours, Jonathan Upchurch, who was with us in Hawaii, but he's from Kentucky and has actually since moved back to Kentucky. He helped us build these. So most of the credit of the building goes to him.
Goes to him.
So shout out to Jonathan, and I hope now he's not getting inundated with building requests.
Yeah, come
Sorry,
on,
Jonathan,
build me
if you
one.
are.
Build one
Yeah.
for me in my backyard.
Yeah, exactly. But
let me reintroduce really quick. If you're just tuning in, and I know a lot of you bounce on and off as you can, you're going to want to come back and see as much of this as you can. We're talking to the Wolcotts. Again, we've got Lena, who is in Arizona, and then we've got Josh and Kerri, who are in Fredericksburg, Texas. And we're going to show some pictures and some video of this labor of love. And we'll talk to Lena, because sometimes parents will say, hey, I got an idea. We're going to get the whole family together and we're going to do this. And I want to know if there was any pushback from the kids at all. So go ahead, Josh, continue that story.
yeah, so as we started designing this out and mapping it out and really getting down the path of doing this, it did become a whole family affair. And here's a picture of us staining. As I joked earlier with you, when the staining pictures come on, you might see me starting to rock. A little bit of PTSD, because we literally hand stained every single board that went on the outside and on the inside. And so on the inside, these wine barrels are set up like a wine flight, which was Kerri's brilliant idea. And so what that means is we have a Chardonnay wine barrel, we have a Rosé wine barrel, a Tempranillo wine barrel, which is a red wine. Tempranillo grape grows very well in Texas, so that was our little nod and shout out to Texas. And then a Cabernet. And so the inside, as you can see here, that's the Chardonnay, and that's the Cabernet. You can see the wood on the inside is stained to go according to the theme or color of the wine. And that was really tricky to get the color right on the inside.
So I'm sure, and we're going to hear from Lena's brother in just a second about the uniqueness of this all, but I'm sure it's probably hard, because you might think of the type of wine you like to drink and go, okay, I think I want to be in that particular one. And then when you go in, wait, I like this one. So as far as the makeup, and we're going to show you all of that, are they all pretty much like same size, same height? They're just decorated different inside. Is that right?
Yeah, so they all have the same exact amenities. So every single cabin has the same size bed, has a small microwave, refrigerator, etc. The big showers. So those things are all the same. If you stay, you're going to get the same feel as far as the amenities, but the decor and the feel of the, or as the younger folks would say, the vibe is different in every cabin
Look at your
because
mom being cool.
right, you might
I
like
know.
light and bright, or you might prefer a little more. Our Cabernet is a little more modern with a black and white feel, a little more moody, a little darker versus like rosé, which is very light and pink and shiny. And a lot of people have different preferences
there's
on what
rosé
they
there.
like. That one's rosé. But honestly, once you've seen one, most people would like to see all of them because they're all so different, and the feel is so different.
Do you have a favorite, or is it like picking a favorite child?
Uh,
I have favorites. I have uh, Tempranillo is my favorite from the perspective of it was the hardest, and therefore when it was finished and it came together really close to how we had envisioned it,
Uh-huh.
that felt like such a triumph because it was the hardest one. Certainly from the color schematics perspective.
mhm.
If I were a guest wanting to stay here, I would probably choose Cabernet as my favorite. One, because I love Cabernet.
Yep.
It's also my favorite shower. That shower is absolutely beautiful. We did
Oh,
each shower is almost like the art piece of the cabin. So that's Tempranillo.
yep.
You can see that it's very tricky to do walk-in open shower in a rounded shape.
Right.
That was challenging, but we wanted the shower to be kind of one of the central almost art pieces, and so each one we really were carefully thinking through the selection of tile, the color coordination of the tile with the different fixtures, etc. So the Cabernet one, I think, is stunning. So that one's probably my favorite. What about you?
I think I thought that would be my favorite, but actually, my favorite I think is Chardonnay, which is
Chardonnay.
funny because it's not my favorite wine necessarily, but the gold accents just turned out to be so much better than I hoped, and I searched so hard for those gold penny tiles, which are along the side of
Yeah,
the
you can see
shower.
there.
You can't see it in the photos, but the grout in the shower, it's a penny tile shower,
Uh-huh.
it has gold shine in it. So
Little
when the
tint.
shower is wet, you experience some gold tints. And so I think that's super cool. And I also enjoy just the light and brightness of the cabin or of the Chardonnay cabin. So I think if I had to pick, but I mean, really, I love them all. Like a good
Exactly.
mom, I love them all.
So if you go to wine barrel cabins and you're with a big group, you can just say, "Hey, can we switch around? It's like fire drills. Let's go
Yeah.
to the next
You could
one."
Yeah.
certainly you should tour each other's cabin.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
So
we
that's
get asked
funny.
all the time by guests if they can peek into other cabins, and if we don't have anybody in them, we will do
Yeah.
that. But yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, check them out. So, where's the best place? Let's get our social media manager back into the picture. So, Lena, where would you tell them is the best place to be following you, to be looking at all of this after our show, and to be intrigued? Is it on your Instagram, on your website? What's the best?
So for our Instagram, we have the most followers and we are the most consistent on that platform. We are on TikTok and Facebook as well, the same username, Wine Barrel Cabins. We would absolutely love to see you guys on there and connect with you. I think I would like to focus more on Facebook and TikTok, but as a college student, it is kind of hard to keep a consistent schedule with all the classwork I do as well. But definitely, Instagram, I would say, is the biggest platform and the one that we have the quickest response time to.
Yeah.
As far as our website, I would highly encourage everybody to check out our website. Shout out to our designer, Glenn Cora. She did an absolutely amazing job on the website.
Mhm.
And we do bookings through our website and Airbnb. And a little tip, it's a little cheaper if you book through our website directly. So be sure to check it out. It's www.winebarrelcabins.com.
winebarrelcabins.com. And then again, check that out on the social media pages. And yeah, obviously Instagram is where our own viewer reached out to me and saw you. Okay. So we are talking again with the Wolcotts, and there's 5 of them. We're going to hear from one of them, and we'll talk about the uniqueness, because what I really love is the way we perceive things and when we go in, what we're looking at, but it's also from a sensory standpoint. So if any of you have an autistic child or you know someone who is autistic, we're going to actually share the story of one of their sons who has autism, and he had the, labor of love and taking a part in this with the family as well. We'll also see what role Isaiah played. We'll talk about the entire aspect of how this all came together. Don't go anywhere. Again, featuring Wine Barrel Cabins here on The Real Monica Adams Show.
My house is so outdated and old. Can you help?
Let's take down this wall and add a support beam there.
Or just replace the furniture.
I love it.
New sofa, chaise lounge, and tables from Carol House.
What about this bedroom?
Let's tear down this wall.
Or a new bed, dresser, and accessories.
It's like a whole new room.
Get free in-home design, fast free delivery, and free financing too. Skip the remodel. Add new furnishings from Carol House for your new perfect room, because you like nice things.
Well, if you like nice things, then you might want to head to Fredericksburg, Texas, because this is probably the most unique place that you'll ever get an opportunity to stay inside of this massive wine barrel cabin. And we've been talking about all the process, going through it all with the family. Again, we introduced to you, and if you just tuned in, let's introduce again to Josh and Kerri Wolcott on the bottom, and then Lena Wolcott up top. Again, Arizona and Texas. So, by the way, Lena, what are you studying in Arizona?
I am studying at Grand Canyon University, and I am majoring in social media and marketing and minoring in web design and development.
Fantastic. And there's such a need for it, right? There's so much of our life that's going that way, and you got to keep up. So she's able to help with all of this. And she's the one that we have been coordinating with, getting all this set up. She and I have been working on something exciting. Lena, we'll say it now and we'll say it to the end of the show. You want to tell my viewers what we have planned for them?
Absolutely. So Monica has been very generous, and we have decided to team up with her for a giveaway coming up. If you do follow us on socials already, you might have seen we do like to do a few. We just love to give back, and also we just really appreciate the support from everybody, and it's just such a fun way to engage with everybody and just feel the love and the hype. So we will be announcing a giveaway, as Monica said, at the end, and there will be a post with more information on how to enter coming shortly.
Yep, this is going to be so exciting. Again, don't miss that. And then just start sharing like crazy with your family and friends about how cool and how unique this place is. So I mentioned that there are 5 Wolcotts. We've got 3 of them here. We're going to talk a little bit about Grant and about Isaiah. So we were able to get some comments from Grant, and you'll hear more of them, by the way, when we get to Fredericksburg coming up the week of the 28th, the end of this month. But so we had a little bit of an interview back and forth with Grant, and some of the things that he loved about taking part in this, or maybe he didn't love it. We'll find out in just a second. But here's his comment about your ability to, really get an opportunity, like Kerri and Josh said, to pick your different barrels.
So Grant, what's your favorite part of the wine barrel cabins?
I'd say it's a very unique experience, and every cabin, it's interesting to see how each guest has a different favorite cabin.
Which we were just saying, whether it is Tempranillo, or maybe it's Rosé, or maybe it's Cabernet, or maybe it's Chardonnay. Maybe you're in one of them, then you see your friend and family in the other, and you're like, I want that one. So tell us a little bit about, Kerri, if you would like. Tell us a little bit about Grant. Grant's 20, right?
Yes, he's 20 years old, and he has had a whole life of experiencing autism and the differences that has brought for him, and the difficulties, honestly, that it has brought for him. And we've always told him that things can be difficult, but you're always a part of this family. And so he has participated as much as he has wanted to in the wine barrel cabins, which has included doing some landscaping and participating, especially in drawing. He loves to draw, and so he drew up some ideas for the beginning when we were working on a logo, and he also has worked on color with us. He loves to choose different color matching schemes. And so when we were looking at tiles and things like that, he enjoyed participating in that way. Those are his strengths, and he enjoyed that part of it.
I love it. And again, but as we mentioned, yes, obviously help from a artistic side and drawing up plans, things like that. But to put all this together is what really blew my mind. So when I was talking with Lena about, she kept saying, yeah, we did this, we did that, we were staining, we were doing all of this. And I was like, wait a minute, you, like the entire family? And she's like, yeah. I mean, look, this is what they went through with all of this. And then obviously waiting for the grass to grow and to be able to take it and get it to where it is today. What was the process, by the way, Josh and Kerri and Lena? How long did this all take from idea to eventually being able to present it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we started with breaking ground in terms of septic and all the kind of infrastructure in August of 22.
Okay.
And then we actually started pouring foundation. We have a pier and beam kind of set up for these. And so we started with those foundations in early October. And then we opened, we were done end of May, although here's a quick funny story. So we had to get photos for the website and Airbnb to launch. And so we had the date that the photographer was booked. And as we got closer, we called to say, can we push that back? We're not quite ready. He's like, no, my next opening isn't for like 2 months. So we're like, oh no. So we killed ourselves to get ready for this.
It was a huge push.
To the extent that literally while he was inside shooting the inside of the cabin, Lena and others, we were outside painting the railings and the decks. And it was nutty. But anyhow.
But everyone needs a good deadline.
Yes.
Because it really
Yes.
It forced us to finish.
It forced us to be finished.
Yeah.
And our first guest date in July of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
July of 23. Okay.
But we opened one cabin at a time. And so we didn't have all 4 open for guests until August.
Okay. Lena, did you enjoy going through this process?
I did. So I unfortunately wasn't able to be involved with the foundation as much as I would have liked. I had a tonsillectomy in September, so
that's no fun.
Kind of yes, kind of a lot on top of all that. So shout out to my parents for taking care of me and my recovery while also taking care of all the stuff for the cabins as well. But
this is you right here, right?
Yes, so I was able to help with a lot of the staining and just some other things. As you can see here in this little time lapse, I helped my mom and dad build the fence. And I started college in spring of 23. I transferred in because I had got most of my associates at the community college in Hawaii. Uh-huh. So I came back in May to help finish up and finish painting right before, as you heard from my parents, the photographer had to get there. It's why the photos look so great, still wet paint in the back. And then I just have been doing a lot of maintenance work since, like helping with landscaping, or I've been up on the roof a few times with my dad to make sure things are all good up there. So I did help with the construction part as much as I could with school and recovering from surgery. And now I'd say I mostly, for hands-on stuff, do a lot of the maintenance work whenever I'm back to help.
So now you can add contractor to your resume list.
Right?
Not just you. So Lena, you're 23?
Yes.
And Grant's 20. And Kerri and Josh will come back to that in just a second. Let's also bring Isaiah into the picture. I mean, look at this. He's pretty tough. This is a 13-year-old. That's got to be heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually loves doing things like that. He had a power tool in his hand when he was about 4. He helped me build some stuff. And he's always enjoyed building. And so here I'm showing him how to use the machine. And then once he got a hang of it, oh man, it was almost hard to get him off of it. But this is when we were, we had so many yards of gravel and rock to move. And so anyhow, once I got him kind of trained on how to do it, then he was great. And so he has helped cut wood. He loved using a lot of staining. Obviously, I did a lot of staining, but nail gun. I mean, that kid, he loves it all.
I love that. And we always talk on the show about teaching the kids when they're young, guide them, don't push them, guide them. They'll
Yeah.
find their way. They'll fall in love with it or they won't. And that's okay also. Maybe they'll come back to it at some point. But this is what I love. And this is what I hope you're taking from this, that I always want to bring the family unit back together. And how cool is this to have, this is a massive project, but you pick your project, whatever it is, get the family working together. And it's, as we said, a labor of love, putting it all together. And then Lena took a video for me walking you through. We showed you some of the pictures of it, but here's a true walkthrough. Which cabin is this, by the way?
Cabernet.
I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Josh's favorite. And just originally, when we first started looking at this a couple of months ago, Cabernet, also Josh, my favorite as well. I like cabs. I like Cab Franc. I like blends that always have a cab in them.
Yeah, I like
so my thought right away is, it's got to be Cabernet. Got to stay in Cabernet. But then I saw Tempranillo, and I'm like, I'm definitely drawn to the red.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is funny because, we definitely have people who have their preferences. And so they will say, oh, I'm a red wine drinker. I got to stay in that. And it might be booked. And then they're like, well, now I've got to stay in rosé. And then they stay in rosé. And I've had several guys who, eyebrow raise rosé. And then they put on their review, loved it. They were blown away. So I think it doesn't really matter which one you pick. They're so unique. You're going to enjoy them. But for sure, people have their favorites and their preferences. Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that, by the way, because so our director, Zach, obviously coming along to help us film everything. And I was like, I should purposely put him in rosé.
I think he'll be surprised at how much he'll enjoy it.
Again, how can you go wrong with any of these? So Wine Barrel Cabins, go to their website, again, winebarrelcabins.com. Check them out, Instagram, also Facebook, on TikTok, and you'll be able to see other people that have stayed there and their reviews of it. So let's pull back, by the way. So as we're going through and hearing about the history of the family, so you were in Hawaii for what, 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Which part?
We were on the Big Island, Kona.
Mm-hmm.
I love Hawaii.
We were in Hawaii. We had a commercial farm. We grew lettuce, 6 types of lettuces for resorts and hotels. And as you can see, we're kind of an entrepreneurial family. I call us serial entrepreneurs because we love ideas. We love ideation. We love bringing ideas to reality.
Yeah.
And so the kids actually, speaking of just going back to being part of something, the kids grew up learning how to harvest lettuce, how to pack lettuce. They went on deliveries with us to hotels and resorts. And so I think that one thing that I've taken away from this is that everybody can do something, even with Grant's limitations that he has told us, like, what can I do? There's always something that somebody can do and that they can participate. And so I think coming from Hawaii and going through that experience during COVID, of course, our business selling to hotels and resorts died a very sad and sudden death. And that was part of what precipitated our move to Texas. Yeah. But we learned so much from having that farm, and I think our family takes a lot of really fun memories of working together on the farm too.
Was it hard, Lena? Was it hard to go from Hawaii to Texas?
Absolutely. And I say, and yeah, I love Fredericksburg. It's such a cute town. I will say a lot of the kids my age are out at college, and when I moved, I was in the middle of a gap year, so I've met some people since then coming back for the summers and whatnot, but I think it's always hard, any move, to leave your friends and, the place you love. And for me, I was an avid surfer and bodyboarder, and so I think it was just really hard for me to leave the water. I worked on the water. I was a deckhand, a dive guide, so I think that was the hardest part for me. But I think you also can learn to find home anywhere, and like my parents said, I really do look back at those memories fondly, and I'm grateful for it. I mean, that's the first time I remember really learning about construction, really, because I had always been interested in building and helped my dad with power tools for various, house projects as a kid out of curiosity. But that was the first time I was more hands-on, and for future shows I'll have to upload it. But I do have a video of Isaiah. I think he's maybe 4 or 5 with the power drill by himself, and he's drilling the bed of lettuce. So we did all help with that. And I think thanks to that experience, it did make working at the cabins a lot easier because we were comfortable with a lot of the tools already. So it was just fun to see how very different places you can still have similar core memories with building stuff with family.
Absolutely. Well, again, and I love this, and I hope that as you're listening this morning, that this inspires you to get back to the family unit, right? So there's too much of life that we tell you about that's just so short, and we're only here for literally the snap of a finger. So if by some reason you are away from your family, I want you to bond back together like this family. I mean, have you not fallen in love with them already? We're just talking to three of them. We're going to get to Fredericksburg, Texas. Again, I've been told by so many people since we started mentioning that we're going to be there. Oh my gosh, Monica, you're going to love it. It's so charming. I have a friend of mine that lives in Texas, actually, and she's like, this is the place that I told you and Jim about. And I said, oh, I forgot. So she had told us maybe a couple years ago, you two belong in Fredericksburg, Texas. It's very, very charming. She likened it a little bit to like Charleston, South Carolina. Have you been there?
No, not.
So she was saying, she's like, you love the charm and you love the South. You're going to love this place so much. And then fast forward a couple years, and now this viewer of ours, Susie, who was on Instagram, she tells us about you. And I'm like, oh, it was meant to be. It's like, I call those God winks, right? So we're brought back to it for a particular reason. Okay, if you're just tuning in, we're talking with Lena and Josh and Kerri Wolcott from Wine Barrel Cabins. Again, Wine Barrel Cabins online, winebarrelcabins.com, or you can go to their Facebook page or their Instagram page or their TikTok, which is Wine Barrel Cabins as well. We're going to take a quick break. Look at all of this that they went through to eventually bring you to what it looks like today, which is this, which is just absolutely amazing. So don't go anywhere. We'll have more as we talk again about how you can get there and this wonderful giveaway that we have for you coming up next. And welcome back again. Look at these cabins. So as you're looking through this is Wine Barrel Cabins, and it's in Fredericksburg, Texas. We've been showing you that there are 4 different cabins on the property, and that would be Cabernet and Chardonnay and Rosé and Tempranillo. So when you go to the website, and you can book directly again through winebarrelcabins.com online, when you do that, you get to pick which cabin do you want. Or maybe, I was saying this the other morning, there are a lot of people that are always trying to get their family and friends together. This would be a great opportunity for like a small family reunion, and everybody gets to maybe stay in their cabins. Or there's also a house on the property. We haven't talked about that yet. So if you're just tuning in, again, Lena Wolcott, she's in Arizona right now, as well as her mom and dad, who are in Fredericksburg, Texas, Kerri and Josh Wolcott. They are the owners of Wine Barrel Cabins. And the house is called the Hickory House, right?
Yes.
That sleeps 10?
Yes, it does. And so it's called Hickory House because we are on Hickory Lane.
Ah, okay.
And so that's the name, reason for the name. The house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It sleeps comfortably 8. There's a really actually comfortable pull-out couch. And so with that, there's room for 10 potentially. We recommend 8, but we have had 10 multiple times, and they've all said it's quite comfy. So that's on property. So we've had a few larger families come and kind of take the whole place. We've had a couple people inquire about, do you guys do weddings? Well, no, we don't, but you are welcome to do them here. But and so yeah, we can accommodate a pretty good sized family reunion.
Yeah. Or we've had lots of groups of friends, couples who've rented all 4 cabins.
Yes.
And then they each kind of have privacy, but then they go out for dinner together and enjoy time together. So that's also a fun thing to do.
I want
And
this
then
to be the new place that the girls go when they get in. So one of your friends gets engaged, and then you have this little girl trip away. This
Mhm.
seems like the best place. Like some people will go to Las Vegas, they go to Chicago. They might go away to somewhere where there's here over my shoulder. There's a beach like Cabo, right? That's Cabo. Or for here in the Missouri area, they might go to the Ozarks. But now you're hearing this, and it's like, no, let's grab a group of girlfriends. So, Lena, has that happened yet?
Oh, yes, I would say we get a lot of bachelorette parties coming through, and it's always so fun to see everybody just having such a blast, and they really do love it. I will say on social media, the two most frequently asked questions we get about housing is are the cabins kid friendly and pet friendly? And the answer to both of those are no. The wine barrel cabins, they are only designed to sleep two adults.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it is a wine barrel cabin and two little complimentary pour bottles of wine. Obviously, not the big ones, but the little small ones are included. So it is 21 plus. And also, as far as kids go, we just want to make sure the property is nice and quiet for guests. And also, as much as we love our kiddos, we do have some decor in there that might be a little fragile, dare I say. So we encourage people, if they do have kids and want to stay, that the Hickory House is absolutely great for that. And a lot of families love that. So I always try to push people to the Hickory House if they want to take their kids with them. And as far as pets, emotional support animals are not allowed, but service dogs with proper documentation, of course, are allowed. We just don't do pets, just in case, there's a dog left barking in the cabin all day and people are trying to have relaxation time. So we do love our furry friends, but just for cleanliness standards and allergies, we don't allow pets, but service dogs with the proper certification are allowed.
Okay, yeah, and I had seen that the other day, so I'm glad you dropped that in. So again, if you're just tuning in, the Wolcotts, the family behind Wine Barrel Cabins, we talked about the Hawaii tie. Talk about South Africa. There's a tie to South Africa. Your brother was born there, right?
Yes, he was.
You lived there for a bit?
Yes, we lived there many years ago now, for a short while, a couple years, and that's really actually where we were introduced to wines.
Yep.
As many of you know, South African wines are really amazing, and they have a long history. The first vines were planted in South Africa in the 1600s. And so that's where we first started to learn about wine. And of course, it's at an affordable price point. And so that's where we started to taste a lot of different ones. And from there, we started tasting everywhere we went. So that's our connection there. And we've continued to stay friends with people that we made there. And we love South African wines to this day.
Yeah. I would say probably because we have such a connect with that area. And like here, many of the wineries you visit, the winemakers that come out and they talk to you. And as you start to learn about how wine is made, how complex it can be, and you start to appreciate all the little intricacies, all the little taste differences. And so I think because that was awakened there, we have a special connection there, and they make really good wine.
We get a chance.
Yeah, South African wine I've had is absolutely amazing. But I just like for all of you to start trying wines from regions that you've not introduced yourself to before. Your mind will be blown. So if you're just like stuck into Italian wines, or like I said, Napa Valley, start broadening that. You will be really, really impressed. We're going to do our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. So mark this down on your calendar. We do it every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. We are going to be doing it from the Wine Barrel Cabins, by the way. We're going to do 2 shows from there on April 29th, our regular morning show. And then on April 30th, we'll do Wet Your Whistle from there. And we're excited to meet different businesses that are in Fredericksburg, Texas. You're about, 5 minutes, 10 minutes from Main Street?
We're 5 to 6, maybe 7 if you hit both red lights.
It's a small town. We have 2 lights between us and Main Street.
I love it.
We'll see how you get lucky. But it's a very short drive, and there's a lot of tasting rooms on Main Street.
Yeah.
So I would recommend everyone try Texas wine. It's something that's, I think, up and coming, and in the next years, I think we're going to start hearing more and more about it. So
And
it's
you're
fun
about
and exciting.
you
Right.
talked about earlier, Josh, that like 100 plus wineries in that area.
Mhm.
You're about what, 15 minutes from the wineries?
Mhm.
Well, so a lot of the wineries have tasting rooms on Main Street, but if you want to go
Gotcha.
to the actual wineries, yeah, they're anywhere from 10 to 20, 30 minutes out from town in
That's
different
Yeah,
directions.
depending what
Yeah.
direction you
It's
drive.
almost like a hub and spoke. Fredericksburg really is kind of the center, and then you have
Mhm.
different roads that go out, county roads to different areas. But the main route is called the 290 wine route because it's Highway 290 highway.
And it's on the way to
And
Austin,
it's on the
so
way
that's
out.
a
Yeah.
heavily traveled.
Yeah.
The highway between Fredericksburg and Austin has the most number of wineries on it,
Mm-hmm.
and those ones I would say are the most
Probably most known.
visited.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of
Yeah.
small family-owned ones that are off on the different spokes.
Mhm.
So you can get a list at the Fredericksburg Visitor Center. There's a free list when you stop there. If you come to
Mhm.
Fredericksburg, they'll give you a list, and you can see a map of all the small little
Yeah.
tasting rooms. So
Yeah, I went to that. I've been immersing myself in so much of Fredericksburg, and we talked earlier about if you're a history buff, which my husband is, from the Pioneer Museum, the Pacific. Lyndon B. Johnson has a tie to Fredericksburg, Texas. I mean, who
That's
knew?
correct. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
his wife was really involved in the Nature Conservancy in this area. And in
Mhm.
fact, our state park, that's about a 15-minute drive from here, she had a really big part in buying that
Mhm.
land and conserving it and keeping it for future generations. So yeah, it wasn't something we knew before we moved here.
Yeah. So we are driving, folks. Here's the deal. From St. Louis, it's a little shy of a 14-hour drive. So we're going to be doing travel tripping with you, right? We're going to be checking in. And so keep an eye to our social media pages because Zach and myself and Jim will be driving and checking in with you on the way. But if you fly in, where would you recommend? Do they fly into San Antonio? Where's the best place to fly in? What's closest?
I'm going to have her. Should be a travel agent. She's amazing at this stuff. So why don't you?
Yes.
I have a sick obsession with travel logistics. But I would recommend flying into San Antonio. If the price is similar to Austin, I would pick San Antonio for two reasons. One is it's a small airport. It's super easy to get in and out of. And of course, San Antonio has some really neat historic things you can stop along the way. You can look at the Alamo. There's a mission trail you can do. So that's my recommendation. But Austin is only about 30 minutes further. So if you flew into Austin, you would drive about an hour and 35 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the traffic.
Okay.
And if you fly into San Antonio, you can get here within about an hour and 10 minutes.
Very
So
cool.
I would say pick which flight is maybe the most affordable. But if you fly through Austin and you drive here, you will drive through Johnson City, which is the homestead of the the late President Johnson. So that's also something that is interesting to do on the way here.
Yeah.
So we're going to do as much as we can. We're going to need time-lapse videos, Lena. 48-hour tripping in Fredericksburg to see as much as we
Absolutely.
possibly can. We're obviously going to showcase, and our idea, and hopefully the weather will cooperate, is to actually sit right in front of the property. And if you go to their website, winebarrelcabins.com, you will see the idea behind how we would really like the backdrop of our Wet Your Whistle to be on April 30th, that we'd be sitting right there at that pathway and then talking about this before we head back to St. Louis. But I encourage you all to stay longer, right? So we have a short window, but I encourage you all to put this on a future idea for your travel, flying in or driving in. So let me ask you this for future. I know Lane and I talked about it a couple of months ago. Do you have ideas to build more cabins, or what's on the horizon for the future?
You really want to see me start doing my rocking, don't you? Yes, we have talked about it. We've looked into. We actually have a plan that I've drawn up for fitting more in. There's room on the property to build quite a few more. We're torn, if I'm honest, because right now 4 feels intimate, cozy,
manageable for a family business.
Yeah, and then as we start building out, I just think that it could lose some of that, and so we talk about that. I mean, we want this. Our whole idea behind the stay here was to really foster reconnection. So really, this is meant for couples, obviously, in a wine barrel cabin. I mean, girlfriends do come and friends come and whatnot, but the main kind of focus is that. And so, we want to preserve that. And so if you've got 8, 10, and there's a lot more, cars coming out, people walking around, it could potentially lose some of that. So there's kind of some things.
Yeah. At the same time, I think that there's lots of ways that we can keep the heart and soul of it,
Sure.
which was for every cabin to be unique. And like Josh said, like we purposely didn't put televisions in the cabins. We purposely have a seating area where there's chairs that face each other so people can sit and talk. And so I think those are things that we would obviously incorporate into anything that we built. Yeah. And so, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah. And I do actually have a different design idea that I've toyed with and we've talked about. So maybe if we do build more, it might be that kind of different version. We'll see. So stay tuned.
Yeah. We get asked that question a lot on social media, though. They ask us, are more cabins being built? And I always say, we'll have to see.
I think we're putting it out there. We're looking at the building aspect and we're trying to manifest it and make it happen. But yeah, if you haven't seen all the pictures that we've been showing you, there you go, right? So just sitting there. You also have some chairs on the outside. So if people want to sit and just enjoy the beautiful weather and sip some wine, they can do that. Does each one of those have like a back little area?
Yeah, each one has a back deck with 2 chairs, and we actually get quite a bit of wildlife, mostly deer, but
mostly deer.
We get turkeys.
Oh,
people have seen foxes and porcupines.
There's an owl that I see regularly.
Sometimes people talk about the owl. The owl scared the living daylights out of me one evening when I was here wrapping up. It literally buzzed my head about 5 feet away. I was like, whoa.
We do get a lot of pollinators too, because
we've
purposely planted Texas native plants as much as we can find them and plant them. Mm-hmm. And so we get a lot of pollinators, a lot of hummingbirds. Mm-hmm. So it's peaceful if you sit outside, as long as it's not too hot.
Yeah,
it is. Our neighbor's horse, because it faces that property, and sometimes the horse is out. So whenever people are staying and posting on their stories, the neighbor's horse, I think, is more famous than they might know. Everybody loves that horse.
Yeah, it's a family affair, including all the animals. All right, well, one more time, and then I'm going to let Lena take it. If you want to experience this, how amazing, whether it is going into the Cabernet cabin, or it's the Tempranillo, or it's the Chardonnay, or it is the Rosé. You go online to winebarrelcabins.com. You can check it out and pick the one that works for you, or again, maybe stay at the Hickory House as well. We, though, have teamed up together with our brands, and we're going to give you an opportunity. Okay, so Lena, social media manager extraordinaire, take it away. How are they going to do this?
So first, we're going to release a little post which lets you know that the giveaway is coming, and the giveaway post itself will be posted on Friday, and there will be directions in the caption. So you're going to want to be following our page on Facebook, and you're going to want to be following Monica on Facebook, and then tag some friends for entries. There will be a link in the caption which takes you to this website called Gleam, and your entry is only counted if you click that link. It's very important. And I know people are weary of external links, but the reason we do this is so that way people know that the giveaway is fair. It's a third-party software that's trusted by many companies, including Adobe. Many big brands use this. Shopify uses it. So it follows all of the safety guides, so it's not tracking anybody's personal information. It's simply logging actions, and then we can verify that the winner has completed the correct steps, make sure that it's not a bot account. So that is just the most fair way to give everybody a fair chance to come win a stay at the cabin. Yep. So please just read the directions on the post when we release the actual giveaway post, and there will be more clarity in the caption, and I will pin a comment with more information for everybody as well once it's posted.
And we're going to let that run until we come to Fredericksburg.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right?
Yes,
right.
We will announce the winner live with you. I'll pull it up, and then we'll be able to announce it live to see who the lucky winner is.
And what are they getting for this?
So the prize is a 2-night stay at Winebarrel Cabins, and in the caption, and it does say this, blackout dates do apply, meaning no weekend or holiday dates are available. We will contact you directly through the Facebook page. This giveaway is Facebook specific. So if you do follow us on Instagram, make sure to hop on over to our Facebook and enter on there as well. Our page is the Winebarrel Cabins page. The picture of the outside shot, that's the background page. So that is the only account associated with us. Our Instagram is, we are meta verified. We will contact you directly through a private message. So if you hear anybody else saying you've won, unless the phone is shown live on Monica's show, that is not us. We've unfortunately had people try to impersonate us before. It happens with a lot of giveaways, unfortunately. So I just like to let everybody know we do only have the one account, and it is us. So if anybody contacts you before the day with Monica where we're on there live showing the winner, that's not us, and don't pay attention to it. Yes.
Well, I love you all.
On the real show.
Yes, it's a real show. These are real people, and we're all about being real, and authenticity is everything to me. So I cannot wait to meet you in person. Lane and I have had a blast for the last couple of months just getting ready for this. This was the story. This is what I love. In 30 years of my career, I love telling stories, and it's all to me about the human interest side, the backstory before you get to do the show and tell. The show and tell is coming now the week of the 28th. So be sure to be watching the 28th, 29th, 30th. We are going to be there showcasing Fredericksburg, Texas, and we will be broadcasting from these cabins. Kerri, Josh, Lena, it was so much of a pleasure for us to meet this way, but I can't wait to give you all a hug when I see you in person.
Likewise.
And you will have to send me your preferred wine so we can make sure to toast your preferred wine.
You know what? I'm looking. Absolutely. I want you to introduce me. I want you to introduce me to Texas because we do these Wet Your Whistle Wednesday segments with our sponsor, Chandler Hill. Defiance Ridge. So the owner of the prior Chandler Hill, he took over Wine Country Gardens and he turned it into Defiance Ridge Vineyards. His name is Chuck Gillentine. He's actually from Texas. He loves Texas wine. And on one of our prior shows, we actually talked about Texas wine. And so when I told him we were coming to Fredericksburg, he's like, that's an area I haven't been. I can't wait to find out what you love about it. And then he's like, maybe that's a future thing that we have to do. And I was like, yes, absolutely. So as I told you, I love Cabernets. I love a Cab Franc. I love blends. So I'm definitely a red wine drinker. Now I'm going to let you take it from there.
I got it. I got you.
Thank you so much for having us on the show. We really can't wait to meet you in person. Thank you for all the hard work you've put into the show, and we just can't wait to meet you in person and give you a hug as well.
Absolutely. And for all of you that are watching, share this with your family, with your friends. Keep an eye to our social media pages because you now can put this on your radar to possibly win a 2-night stay. How cool would that be for you to pick your own cabin? Well, thank you all. Everybody stay tuned. You know, we always wrap up with a little faith. So when we return, we've got a devotional for you to bring it all home and do the one thing we always ask, which is to show kindness to each other. God bless. See you all very soon.
Thanks.
See you soon. Thank you.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Carroll House Furniture Homes look the best because of our free design service. Our designers please your taste.
Let's reimagine your room with 50 brand name choices.
We'll create a 3D design with a 360 view for your room.
Free design services are just the beginning. Free 0% financing, fast free delivery and setup, and the guaranteed lowest prices in the country with no stipulations.
You'll get a perfect custom floor plan for your new dream room.
Carroll House Design, because you like nice things.
Oh, we love nice things. Didn't you love that interview? Okay, here's the deal. It is officially live. So as you can hear in Lena, they do giveaways a lot of times on Instagram. This is Facebook specific. So go to my Facebook page. We just shared, and we will continue to share over the next week and a half, that you need to enter. But you got to follow. This is how we always ask if you really, truly are in the moment and pay attention. You have to follow the Wine Barrel Cabins Facebook page. You have to make sure you follow my page. And there are so many of you that I know watch on a regular basis, whether it's live or you catch the show later, a little hashtag replay, and you think you're following the page. And then you say, I don't always get notified. You have to follow the page. You got to like it, follow it. And then you'll always get notified when we go on every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., bringing you, again, great business spotlights, positivity, me doing a little motivation with you. Again, there's so much to this show on a daily basis, but you have to make sure you're following both, and then share it, like it, tag your friends and family. Again, Lena has put a lot into all the details of what you need. And then we're going to give you an opportunity from now all the way until the 30th of April to enter to win, and keep entering, keep trying to win like crazy. And then by 4:00 on April 30th, we will make the announcement live, sitting there in front of those amazing cabins, Wine Barrel Cabins in Fredericksburg, Texas. So again, check them out on Facebook, and good luck to each and every one of you. All right. So we wrap up with our devotional today, April 17th. We are inching nearer and nearer to Easter. Compassionate Jesus, you've been teaching me that anxiety is a result of envisioning the future without you. So my best defense against worry is staying in communication with you. When I turn my thoughts toward you, I can give all my worries and cares to you, knowing that you do, in fact, care about me. Help me remember to read your word and listen as I'm praying, making my thoughts a dialogue with you. Thank you for providing guidelines for me to follow whenever I'm considering upcoming events. First, I must not linger in the future, right? Because anxieties sprout up like mushrooms when I wander there. Second, I need to remember the promise of your continual presence and include you in my thoughts as I plan future events. I confess that this mental discipline is challenging for me. My mind easily slips into daydreaming while I'm making plans, but I'm learning that the glorious reality of your presence with me now and forevermore outshines any daydream I could ever imagine. If you want to know what I'm reading from, it's Jesus Listens. One of our Monica's Maniacs, Marilyn, gave us this from Sarah Young. She also gave us Jesus Calling. And then we have the books that we read when we're in my studio, 100 Days to Freedom books. And those are from the fabulous Stephen Arterburn. Well, good morning, and I hope you're all having a great kickoff. You are so welcome. Thank you for having us on the show. Wine Barrel Cabin said, we can't wait to see you in person. You're very welcome. Lena, Josh, Kerri, loved meeting you this way. The beauty of being able to connect all around the world this way. But until we meet in person, I am thrilled to get there April 28th through May 1st. So you'll be seeing so much. Check out our reels, our stories, our posts, our shorts on all of the platforms, because again, we are on several, because I keep hearing from you saying, hey, I don't watch on social media. I want to have you on this platform. So know that right now we just dropped on our audio platform. So we do have a podcast on top of this talk show. So about 12 minutes ago, we dropped our audio, our once a week audio podcast. So check that out. Be sure to subscribe to that, download those, and get some inspiration as you're walking around. Maybe you go for a run or a walk. Only one of your earbuds in, please. That's to try to keep you safe. I don't have kids, but I'm like a mama bear. So be careful. Take in the positivity. Even if you saw the show, now listen to it. So it's with Dot Fleshman as we get ready for Easter and we bring faith into the conversation. She also does a little Friendship Friday, and then she talks about a little real estate. So if you didn't see that or listen to that, check it out right now. It has just dropped on our podcast platforms. Everybody have a beautiful day tomorrow. Foodie Friday. Can't wait to feature Giuseppe of Trattoria Giuseppe. And my goodness, he is going to teach us how to make so much in 1 hour. But he also has a little help, right? That little prep aspect that we didn't get help with a week ago when Mama Jackie was with me on our kickoff of our Foodie Friday. So many segments to come. Motivational Moments with Monica. We'll have more of those. And I don't want to leave the way this show started, where there is at least once a week time for just you and I doing this together, believing in yourself. I believe in you, but do you believe in yourself? I want to make sure you're always uplifted. So sit in front of that mirror right now and tell yourself how amazing you are. 10 times though, right? There's a scientific aspect, a mental brain aspect of how it connects by hearing the repetition over and over again that you are worthy, that you are valuable. Know your value. It's my greatest mantra. And remember, for the times where it feels so uncomfortable, the statement that I want to be remembered for when I leave this earth is the greatest rewards in life, my friends, come from the most uncomfortable walk. I love you all. You can be anything you want to be in this world and go out and dream big. But before you're anything, be kind. God bless you all. See you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.